Hey, Mark.
Oh.
Hey, guys.
How are you, sir? Opie, Anthony, and Jim Norton to your left there.
How are you?
What's going on?
Oh, hanging in there.
Yeah, look at Roland. Busy day?
What are you listening to? Anything good?
No, I was trying to call my wife and kids and say good morning.
Oh.
That's
Just
something
getting
good.
up for school.
That's kind of nice,
LA.
right?
Yeah.
Like most dads would just kind of be like, I got stuff to do. Leave the family at home.
Hey, you want to make sure the
I can
kids
say a
are-
word.
You want to make sure the family's doing well?
I have no idea. I'm not a father, so I don't have that, like, thing. You got that thing, right? Opie just got that thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
You first?
Yeah, 18 months old.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Changed my life overnight.
So he's got that thing, and I'm still kind of like, I don't get it.
He's
If
not into it.
If someone wakes me up screaming and crying, it's usually,
You guys on the air right now?
Yeah, believe it or not. Believe it or not.
We got to do a montage of that.
I love that question.
That's actually, Mark, a compliment.
We're just like,
Because we want it to sound like we're just talking. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be all
hilarious.
hyped up. And
That's definitely what it feels like.
That's hilarious, man.
well, they rushed you in. The light said on air.
Yeah.
Happens.
It
Could
happens.
just be a prop.
And I said to our producer, is he here yet? He goes, no, he's still a few minutes out. And then 30 seconds later, you walked in. They were crack staff.
Yeah, right in the middle of something we're doing, which is not important right now.
Crazy
So.
weather out there.
It's
Yeah,
awful,
was
right?
it freezing?
Yeah. How'd you guys get this gig?
I know. Well,
We're really good at it.
it's not bad, but if it's the early morning stuff though that sucks.
Yeah.
You an early morning guy?
I am.
Really?
Well, I got 4 kids, so and I've been training, especially now when I'm training to do this movie. I'm usually up at about 4:30. I'm in the gym at 5.
Yeah, you're
Done
one of the
by
guys that
7.
has to train for a movie. Because you're expected to look a certain way.
The last movie I showed up and I had just, after the fight, I was just stuffing my face and drinking a lot of wine, and they showed up, they're like, dude, we're paying you a lot of money. We want the guy that
What are you doing?
you look like in Fighter, not this guy. Thank you.
Fighter was an amazing movie.
Thank you. And then,
I know you've moved on from that, but fuck. That was well done.
you can swear on this?
Yeah,
Oh,
believe it or
sorry.
not. Yeah, the satellite thing. It's pretty
The
cool.
fuck didn't you tell me? Holy shit. This is a really good fucking job.
It's a good gig.
I didn't realize you exec produced Boardwalk Empire, too, man. I love it. Fucking great show.
Dude, wait till you see the ending of this season. It is off the charts. I mean, I just watched the last 2 episodes on the plane on the way to New York, and it's crazy. I mean,
Did the rest of Coach like it?
huh?
The rest of Coach like it?
Yeah.
See, I was assuming you were...
Took me a while. Took me a while. I
He's almost done with us. He's almost done with us.
No, I'm enjoying this.
All
a lot.
right, good.
Who's the girl? She's the sexiest girl on TV. I can never remember her name, but she's Nucky's ex, and she always calls guys daddy. Hi,
Oh
daddy.
yeah, Paz.
Oh, she's
Paz
fantastic, man.
Delahuerta.
Yeah, she's a little
I think that's her
wild.
name, right? Yeah, she is wild. She's been getting in a lot of trouble, I think, at nightclubs and stuff.
Yeah. She had like an incident, but you know, it just raised the profile of her in the show. I mean, and she's
Yeah,
fucking
she
super
is.
sexy.
I mean, those scenes in the first episode, on the first season, where she's naked and having sex with him and scratching him and stuff. It's pretty out there.
It's so cool to have shows that are on now, though, that are a lot more realistic as far as language goes and sexual content, and they're popular shows. It's not like years back when you were pretty much a slave to the networks.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Television as a whole is a great place to work right now. You know, movies are in a tough predicament right now, but television is a great place to be working, especially at HBO. You know, they let you do what you want, and they're so smart and so creative, and they take risks. And it's not about, you're not a slave to the ratings either.
Right.
You know, like Entourage, when it started, the numbers were nothing, but they believed in the show, and it had a great it had a core following, and it got a lot of great reviews, and they're like, you know what, we like it, we're going to build it, and it just kept going and going and going, growing into this.
What part of entertainment do you like the most? Is it in front of the camera, behind, producing, or your singing career? Obviously,
that was fun.
The day, as they call it.
Yeah.
The day, as we.
I think you know what, I really enjoy doing behind the scenes stuff because it allows me to spend more time at home and be with my family.
Okay.
But you know, I like the movie that I'm about to start in New York is something I'm very passionate about. It was like The Fighter is one of those great scripts that we had that was tough to get made. But you know, we think it's going to be really special. Now we put a great cast together and we start shooting it in a week and a half. And
do you do your own stunts? Tom Cruise, there's more footage of him on the Burj Tower in Dubai, and it's fucking horrifying.
More stuff came out?
Yeah, like better footage, and it's like he does his own stunts, and he's 1,700 feet in the air on the side of the building.
Stepping out on a ledge 1,700 feet?
can't.
up?
No.
Even if you have a wire attached to you?
Never.
Get the fuck out of here.
Do you do your own stunts, or do you kind of...
I don't know if he does all his own stunts.
Oh, no, is that more than me?
Listen, hold on. Did you see? Remember the other Mission Impossible when he's hanging off the cliff like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they CGI the cliff behind you.
Right.
He's on a soundstage. Look, sir, I'm hanging from 3 feet in the air. This is crazy.
No, this was real, though, because they had footage from somebody who was actually shooting them shooting. It was somebody on the observation deck with like a cell phone.
That was Katie Holmes.
All right, the whole thing's a work.
Okay. No, listen, you know what? When I was younger, I was gung-ho about doing all my own stunts, but yeah, I got 4 kids. I'm like, no, if you got another guy who looks just like me, you can find me 5 more of them.
Go ahead.
But, with the fighter, obviously, with movies like that, you're not going to have a double. You got to go out there and do it, make it real. But no, I get it. A little annoyed with people that talk about how cool they are doing their own stuff.
Yeah, oh, you're sick of hearing it?
Get in the ring with me then.
Nice.
Let's see what happens.
Can you box?
Do it for charity.
For real?
Yeah, you can.
Let's do it for charity.
Yeah, you could tell he could box.
Yeah,
Did he get hurt making the fight at all? Any injuries? Bruised ribs or anything?
No, nothing during the shooting. I mean, obviously you get a lot of tweaks and stuff like that, but no, we just we were lucky we got through it.
The fight scenes were really well done.
We just
That's
shot
tough
him
to make.
We just shot him just like my relationship with HBO. I called him. I said, "Hey, can we use the guys that do your pay-per-view events?" And the guy who actually did the Mickey Ward Gotti fights, who directed those fights, came and shot the fights for us. We used all their old cameras, and we said, we're going to do it just like a fight. Follow us into the ring. We'll go every round. Right. And, we did it all in 3 days.
Nothing worse than a good fight movie, but the fight scene's like, they're fucking missing.
Well, yeah,
not even close.
That was the thing. It was like, how do you
gotta get those angles
make
right.
it real? Exactly.
Right.
So we just said, let's just go in there and hit each other. And, we start out like 60%, but then once you hit a guy, he's going to want to hit you back. It's just the nature of the beast.
Get the adrenaline going.
Yeah.
Great scene, too, when he meets Ray Leonard, and it's just that awkward, like, I remember you, but you don't mean anything to me anymore. It was like, oh, God damn, that was heartbreaking.
We've had a lot of fighters in here. Yeah. Sugar Ray Leonard opened up to us. We almost had him crying. We didn't even know.
Yeah, it's just a book.
Holy crap. And then Frazier was amazing. Joe Frazier. Yeah,
he kind of unravels after a while. Like, he just starts to sing. It's like fucking... Frazier was just...
Joe Frazier was singing?
Oh, yeah, he was here for like an hour, and after a while, he just starts fucking belting out tunes.
And he just won't let the Ali thing go, man. He just won't let it go.
Yeah, that rivalry is still there, man.
It's even on his voicemail. He still makes fun of Ali before you leave your message for him.
But I've heard that whole thing is a work, too. Like, they actually really do like each other, but then you hear Frazier talking, like, he hates his guts.
He hates his guts to this day. I know you're not here for all that.
No, listen, this is...
you're here for a charity, though, right?
Yeah. Well, we're here, we're here to talk about whatever you want, but we are doing some amazing things with the foundation and our partnership with Taco Bell and the Graduate to Go program. They actually tapped me, a guy who never graduated from high school, to partner up with them, which at first I didn't think made any sense. But, what they've been able to do with their Graduate to Go program and how they're helping these kids, it's really incredible.
Why didn't you graduate high school? Because you're obviously a really bright guy.
I was, when I went to school... I finished the 8th grade. I started going to high school, was going to a school that didn't have a gym, didn't have any sports teams or anything. And I was, already getting high and doing my thing, and we're robbing and doing our thing downtown. So it was like, I know how to read and write and add and subtract. So it just didn't go anymore. And
but then you were able to turn it around. You were smart enough to realize you were down the wrong path.
Yeah, once you get locked up and you're like, whoa. I still like, I like my freedom. I like women. I like to eat when I want and where I want. And so, I had to turn my life around. But
And you did.
This program is amazing. We just opened up a studio to go in the LA Boys Club, LA Harbor, and it has a recording studio, it has a television, movie studio, as well as animation studio. So these kids are learning how to make films and recording, and not just in front of the camera, behind the camera. And this is something that could lead to a real career. Mm-hmm. So these kids are just blossoming, and if you meet any of these kids, they're impressive to me. I mean, I think these kids are our future, and they're going to be very special.
Nice.
Are you a trained actor, or did you just kind of pick it up as you went, or did you go to class, or just?
No, I never. But I wouldn't not do anything to prepare for a role. If it called for it, I would do it. I like research and I like preparation. But no, I just used I have a lot of real life experience that I've been able to apply to roles, and I always play roles that I can identify with on some sort of personal level. So.
One of the best things in Boogie Nights was when you were singing badly because you have a good voice. Like that was very impressive.
I don't have a good voice.
No, you do though. But I mean, you obviously were down. But that was on purpose. That scene with John Riley, and it was like that actually was probably not that easy to do.
You'd be surprised.
Was it?
Yeah. I just, but that was a fun scene. You know, I hate singing and dancing in movies, and I end up having to do it a lot.
Yeah.
I just had to do it in the Seth MacFarlane movie. Seth directed his first movie, and I had to sing on stage with Norah Jones. I had to sing the theme song to Octopussy.
Oh, shit.
And to my girlfriend who's in the crowd, and it was difficult.
Really?
And then I had to dance. You know, remember Airplane when they did that dance in the bar, like the pirate bar, and the guys in the Navy suit?
Yeah, it was pretty much the Saturday Night Fever.
So we had to do that. It was like we were talking at dinner, and it was like my version of what it was, what that night that we first met was. And
was it supposed to be funny, or was it supposed to be like a moving?
No, it's supposed to be funny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was supposed to be moving.
Oh, that would be a bad choice.
Wow, yeah. That's
Have you ever been embarrassed doing, like, for me to do certain things, like to dance, or I've done like commercial auditions, and when they're like,
just
act
going to
like
say to act.
it stinks, but commercial auditions, like, act like you're having fun, and it's like you're eating a Snickers, and it's like fucking humiliating. It's like, you ever embarrassed doing something in a scene, like, ugh.
Yeah, many times. And it's like, or if you're doing like a party scene, and you're supposed to be like going crazy. Yeah.
I was in a movie that was not good, and at the very end, they're supposed to, like, they find the stamps, they're supposed to celebrate and everything, but everybody's like jumping around and clapping. I just kind of stood there and put my arms down in shame, and I'm not in the last shot because I refused to clap. I was so fucking embarrassed.
Yeah.
It's terrible. You feel like people are watching you going, this is awful.
They are.
Exactly. Especially early on, and as an actor, like having to do like emotional stuff, you gotta start crying and shit.
Yeah.
What do you do to cry? Can you make yourself cry, or do you think of sad stuff, or can you just like stare for too long and then the tears come? Sometimes if I stare too long, I can do it.
Yeah, there's different ways to get it going.
Yeah. Different secrets.
Yeah.
I need some help. I'm asking for help.
I know.
I don't know how to do it.
He doesn't want to
just look at anything you filmed prior to that.
They really should just make anybody watch my old work.
I could use a little technique behind you. I could just squeeze your fucking ear off.
Wouldn't that be awful if you did that and I came?
Well,
I was shooting it when I was shooting the last movie that I did. I had a friend of mine who always wants to be in the movies. So I actually got him a part in this movie. So we started shooting a short film called One Tear, where I was just trying to get him. We had the camera right there on his face, and I'm trying to get him to cry. I'm slapping him in the face. I'm telling him his family's dead. All this stuff. Pressing my boot in his fucking balls. Nothing. I mean, we had 45 minutes of footage, and the guy couldn't get a tear going. We sprayed the fucking. They got that shit that they spray in your eyes.
Like some menthol stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sprayed that like a gallon of it in his eyes. Nothing would come out.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Was he all right? Was he like dehydrated?
He's like my buddy Nacho Extreme, who's the extreme eater. You guys would love to have this guy on the show. I'm telling you.
Oh, really? Got
His name is Big A.
Is he a big dude? Because the guys who win the extreme eating contest are usually like 160 pounds.
Yeah, he's a big guy, but he doesn't eat that kind of stuff. Like, he'll eat that phone. He'll eat this CD.
All right, we got to have him on.
Yeah, of course. He's the Nacho Extreme. He just ate for the opening of our burger joint, he just ate a divot burger. When I took my 60-degree wedge and I took a chunk out of a wet piece of grass, that much dirt and that much grass, and he put it on a burger bun, put a little Tabasco, a little Dijon mustard. That guy getting regular yellow mustard, he's like, "Give me some Dijon, will you?" And he ate the whole thing. And we're actually going to pitch a reality show about him to.
Is it online? I got to see that video.
He's online from Jimmy Kimmel. That will be. We just shot that the other day. But if you watch him on Kimmel, he eats all the wasabi and then he drinks 3 ounces of Tabasco in a row.
Holy
wow! How the fuck?
I always knew people that would do fucked up shit like that, but couldn't imagine doing it.
They brought another guy in who wanted to compete with him. Said he could beat him. This guy drinks spray paint and eats spiders and stuff like that. But he couldn't beat my boy. You'd be surprised. Everybody's got an extreme eater, buddy. Joe Pesci had a guy who jumped in the pond and caught a fish with his bare hand.
Nice.
Cooked it up with the bones, and that's when the divot thing came up. I said, "Oh yeah." I said, me and Joe were playing golf at his tournament, and I hit my last shot, and the caddy was like, went to grab the divot. I goes, "No, put that in your bib." And I brought it in. I said, Nacho, you got to eat this. He goes, I'll eat that Astro, Jeff. I don't care. He's like, there's a couple pebbles in there. And when he was eating the divot the other day, he broke his back tooth.
Oh,
but he just ate. He swallowed the divot.
Now I want to see this reality show.
I know.
Oh, it's gonna be something special.
How do you figure you can, like, what makes you realize you can do that? Like this, are you a kid and you eat something bad and people go, fuck, and then you're like, I kind of like that vibe I'm getting from people? Like, what makes you realize you can do it?
We were just sitting at a restaurant in Boston with my friend Donkey, who, God rest his soul, he was the inspiration for the turtle character. He goes, I'll give you $5 if you can eat those 3 sticks of butter. He just wolfed them down, and then it went into rolls. Then we were eating lobster, and then I goes, "Could you eat that shell?" He goes, "Well, cash is king. Give me $30, I'll do it." And he just ate the shell. He ate the whole shell of the lobster.
Wow!
And that was it. And then he's eating a porterhouse steak. He eats the bone.
All right, you sold him. We got to get him in here. Got to get him in here.
He is such a character.
Is he an LA guy?
Boston.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how he talks too. He talks like this.
Is he a crazy dude, like a fighter, or is he just can eat anything?
He was a former kickboxer. And when I met him, the first time I met him, he moved from Southie to our neighborhood, and he was standing on the corner, and he was older than us, and he was like, yeah, I'm a kickboxer and this and that. So I ran up from behind, kicked him in the back of the neck. We knocked him down. We beat the shit out of him. And then we were like, you know what? You're one of us. He's been hanging out with us ever since.
You're the real deal, man.
Hilarious.
Mark Wahlberg's the real deal.
And you know what happened? We're on the golf course, and I'm like, you know what? I had 250 yards to the flag over water, and I'm like, can I hit this shot? He goes, you're Mark Wahlberg. You do whatever the fuck you want. I goes, you know what? You're right. Give me that 5-wood. He's got a tattoo of a Dorito on his arm, which I got for him in New York. You got to check him out on Kimmel.
No, we're gonna check him out, definitely. I'm hearing you got to go.
They're saying Mark has other press.
We so don't want you
We're
to go.
not going anywhere. We didn't even talk about Graduate to Go.
I know, right?
No, let's talk about that.
But you know what? You know what? You guys got to check it out. I mean, we're just opening the one in Boston at the Boys Club. Our goal is to open one at every Boys Club across the country, because the club is such a great place for kids. Keep them off the street, keep them out of trouble. But they're playing basketball and they're playing, they're in the pool and doing stuff like that. But this is an opportunity to do something, to explore their creative side and hopefully build a career.
Right.
I think they can learn about the world of radio and television and movies and animation.
Well, if they want a career, don't teach them radio.
Yeah, exactly. Just pretend radio doesn't exist.
This is a dying industry, Mark.
Help us. There's probably a lot of pot smokers in here, but other than that, this seems like a pretty good
surprised,
gig.
Man. No real drugs here.
Do you feel like, because you obviously could have went in either direction coming up, that you wound up having a great career, so it's like, I want to kind of give back to other people who are kind of on the fence.
Absolutely. Dude, I've been so blessed and so fortunate. I know I wasn't put in this position to forget about where I came from. I was incarcerated at an early age. Most of my friends are dead or in jail. And you got all these kids that, they deserve a chance. So you got to give them an opportunity. And I didn't really have anybody to look up to that, came out of our neighborhood and went off to be successful somewhere other than, you're either a cop or a crook. Right. And so, these kids they're more talented than me. They're more smart than me. And they just need a chance. So that's what we want to do.
And how does people get involved? Is there a website or?
Yeah. Do we have the information on the website? Can we?
Oh, damn.
Because your people are panicking.
You guys can either go
They're panicking. You got to get out of here for other stuff, I guess. What's the
Forget about that.
Graduate2go.com.
Right. And then also, you can see it through the Mark Wahlberg Youth Foundation.
All right. And if we don't have it, we'll make sure we get it accurately put on the site, and we'll plug it afterwards to make sure it gets plugged properly.
Graduate2go.com is definitely it. So.
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to come back when you have more time, we'd love to hang with you more, because we're tremendous fans.
You know what I'll do? I'll come back and talk about Contraband. I got another movie coming out in January.
You're going to be in there filming, so we'd love to have you if you find a day or we'd love to have you.
Maybe I'll get my co-star Russell Crowe to come up.
Damn.
I don't know if he's got a sense of humor. We'll see.
Damn. I guess we'll see. Right?
We'll see. We'll find out.
Hey, Mark, thanks so much,
guys,
man.
thanks
Very
for having
cool.
me. I appreciate it.
All right,
No
Mark
problem,
Wahlberg.
man.
Fun stuff.